everyone, so I'm here today with a tag video and I'm going to do the perfect palette tag. I've seen a couple of people do it recently and it's been one that I've been really dying to do for ages. So I am going to jump right into the questions. I've got them on my tablet right here in front of me. The first question is the best packaging, and this is probably quite an unusual choice, but I want to choose the I Heart Makeup I Heart Chocolate palette. Now this is obviously a very shameless dupe for the Too Faced chocolate palette. Inside, the shades are incredibly similar. The quality of these shadows isn't the most amazing, I will admit that. The shades are gorgeous, but they fade a little bit weirdly, I found. But the packaging I just think is great. It's really innovative of Too Faced, let's face it, not of I Heart Makeup. But they're really lovely and it's just great packaging for £8 for the drugstore. I think it's very cool. Then the next question is best colour payoff, and I have gone for a really cheap option again because this was one that really wowed me. When these first launched, I didn't pick these up. I wasn't really interested in them. I generally don't tend to like that many cheaper drugstore eyeshadows, and I wasn't really interested in it, but a lot of people kept talking about it, and finally I bit the bullet and purchased it, and I'm really glad I did because it is a very good palette, and it's the MUA Undressed palette, which is basically their answer for the Naked palette, because let's face it, we're inundated with neutral eyeshadow palettes these days. But the colour payoff on these are just gorgeous. All the shades are lovely. The matte ones are great, the shimmery ones are great. You can see it's been very well used. It's easy to travel with as well because it's quite slim, and I took this with me on holiday and I got a lot of use out of it. In the evening I kind of wore these two quite a lot. During the day these three were really good. It's just a very easy, versatile palette, but the colour payoff is amazing and really good for £4 as well. Then the next question is the most versatile, and this is kind of a bit of a obvious option, but it's the Urban Decay Naked Palette 1. This is my favourite one. I did have the Naked Palette 2, but I sold it because the colours were just a bit too cool tones and didn't really suit me, but these are just great. Two of my favourite combos ever are Naked and Buck in the crease, Naked all over the lid. This works beautifully. It kind of really gives you that warm, sultry, day-appropriate smoky eye. And then I also love Toasted and Hustle together, or Toasted and Smog. Really versatile. You've got these two down here, which I wouldn't personally use, but they're very nice to have. That would create a really lovely kind of dramatic smoky eye. Just everything you would need in one palette to achieve lots of different looks. Then the next question is the best for travel, and I've got two here that I thought I'd mention. The first one's a very obvious mention, and it's the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. This is the first one. Everything you'd need, kind of, you know, you've got the black to smoke it out or to use as a liner, all these day shades. The one thing I think they should have done with this palette is swapped either Walk of Shame or Foxy with a kind of shimmery bronze type of shade. Then it would be perfection, but really lovely, really great for travel. And then the next one I've got is very similar. It's kind of similar size as well. It's a tiny bit bigger, but this is the the I Heart Makeup Selfie palette. Packaging of this is pretty cool as well. The kind of, but in here you get, I haven't thrown away the little card with the shades because I didn't want to kind of lose what they were, but you get all of these shades, and then this is a kind of smaller version of the Naked one palette, I think. So if you're someone that likes more shimmery shades, this would be a really nice option. Sometimes I'll go for this, other times I'll go for the other one, depends what I'm after. But I do like shimmery shades in the summer, so it's a nice one to take away with you if you were going on holiday or something like that. And again, really compact. Then the next question, I'm just going to have to turn my tablet back on again. My next question is biggest regrets. And this is kind of an interesting choice, I suppose, because it's not something that I would ever purchase now. I've had this for a really long time. I need to throw it away because it never gets used, and I'm sure it's gone off by now, but this is the Benefit Princess palette, which looks like this. They say it's a travel kit, but whatever. And in here you get these three shades, and then you got, I think, maybe cream shadow, a concealer and the Eye Bright. I never ever use this. It's just one of those palettes that kind of I didn't need. I don't know why I bought it. I bought it when I was on the plane coming back from holiday, and I just kind of fancied buying something. I think that was the only reason why I bought this, because it's not something that I really need, and I never ever use these shades. I need to give this away to one of my sisters, to be honest. And then the next question is best colour names. And this is a really fun question, I think, because this is a palette that I really love but I don't use enough, and I need to use it more. It's more of a wintry palette for me, but this is the Too Faced Natural Eye palette. I love the packaging of this as well. I think it's really pretty, but in here it's a beautiful palette in general, kind of how it's laid out. I think it's gorgeous, but some of the names are really cool. So you've got Silk Teddy, which is lovely, Honey Pot, Cocoa Puff, Erotica, Sexpresso, Push Up. They're all just really fun, kind of sexy names. My favourite is Silk Teddy, that one, I love that one, and Push Up and Honey Pot are really great, but it's just more of a wintry tone shade for me. I don't tend to use this palette very much in the summer. I like kind of more of a warmer tone in the summer, but last winter I used this a lot. I need to leave it out so I remember to use it, because it is very pretty. But I've just got so many eyeshadow palettes that I kind of don't use all of them all the time, which is bad, I know. But then the next question is least used, and then I'll remember what the next question is. I can put my tablet away. So least used is this palette right here, and this is from Blush Professionals, and it's their 88 shadow palette. And basically it's just one of those like the Crystal Scent type of palettes where you just get a huge variation. Lots of small shadows. I never use this. I keep it because I think it's handy to have. And they are nice shadows and they're kind of quite nice shades, but it's just not one that I ever really use. And you know, if I was ever doing someone else's makeup, then I wouldn't necessarily use this either, because I don't think they're the best quality. There's other things I prefer. But I just kind of like the security of having it because I'm a little bit of a makeup hoarder. So that's my least used. And then my most used, this does change kind of depending on what I'm using at the time. I like to kind of move things around and try different things, but I do use my MAC palette quite a lot, and I'm going to show you it here. I have done a full review of what's in this palette. This is one of the older palettes, but this is my MAC palette and I love a lot of these shades, if I can remember. So I think that is Tempting, Patina, Sable, All That Glitters, Naked Lunch, Woodwinked, Antiqued, don't remember what that one's called, Glamour Check maybe, I think that's Sketch, and that's Carbon. But Antiqued is gorgeous. Sable is one of my all-time favourites. I love that kind of smudged on my lower lash line. Naked Lunch is great. All That Glitters is a staple. I use this quite a lot. It's just a really lovely kind of, it's a neutral palette as well, and I do use the purples in here sometimes, and it's just a great palette. And I think MAC eyeshadows are really amazing quality. They're probably my favourite, more so than Urban Decay, because I find with Urban Decay that these shimmery shadows have a lot of fallout, but Too Faced shimmery shadows are nice quality as well. But the one I've been using quite a lot recently is this one, and I've only had this for about a week, so I'm not kind of saying this is a favourite, but I have been using it quite a lot this week. I've worn it every day and I've been playing around with different colours, and it's the W7 in the Nude shade palette, which is the kind of pinky Urban Decay inspired one. I didn't buy the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette because I thought they're not shades I'll wear all the time, but I don't mind spending like a £5 on this one. And I'm wearing some of the shades from here today and I really like it. I wore some yesterday that I really liked as well, and it's quite nice quality. And then one that I was using quite a lot before that was the Makeup Revolution Essential Mattes palette, which looks like this. I must admit though, with all the kind of thin line eyeshadow palettes, I prefer a round shadow. I feel like they're annoying to get your brush in. These are all matte shades and this is quite nice to use as well. I did enjoy that. So yeah, that's my perfect palette tag. I love eyeshadow palettes. I wish that I had like more face, if that makes sense. But like I've got a lot of face, but that I could just kind of do really amazing eye makeup every day, because some days I just can't be bothered, and if I'm not going anywhere and I'm not wearing any makeup, I don't bother. But I've got so many nice eyeshadows that I love playing with. I love doing my eye makeup especially, and that's really fun. But I would love to know what your favourite eyeshadow palettes, if you could only have one and it would be your like most favourite, all you'd ever need, what would that one be? I'd love to know. I don't know if I could pick mine, but I'd love to know what yours is. And don't forget to let me know what your favourite eyeshadows are, even if they're just kind of single eyeshadows, or your can't live without products. I'd love to know that. So don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and leave me a comment down below if you've got any questions, and I will see you next time.